Every time I hear the joy, I don't wanna turn on my radio. Every time I hear the joy.
It's 6 o'clock. Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. We're live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, and Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM. Affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions on myjoyonline.com, Facebook and X Spaces. Coming up. Another shooting incident in Nkwanta, this time involving 4 persons just 24 hours after one person was killed, raising concerns about renewed clashes there.
Driver na driver amuvi nipa nai na tiona ka.
We have details as more security personnel have been deployed to the area in addition to the dawn to dusk curfew already in place. Also tonight, over 400 persons to go through a thorough scrutiny as the NPP assures a fair playing ground for all parliamentary aspirants in constituencies with sitting MPs in less than 20 hours.
This vetting is also going to give everybody the opportunity to ensure that we are given the fair ground to be able to contest. And that is why we have set up the National Parliamentary Appeals Committee.
And with just 10 days to the start of the Africa Cup of Nations in La Côte d'Ivoire, GFA President Keto Kweku is rallying support for the Black Stars as they begin camping in Kumasi today.
Let us leave behind us all the pre-announcement discussions, and as Ghanaians, let's push and put our weight behind the men who have been picked to go to Côte d'Ivoire to fight for glory for our dear country.
I'll take you live to Kumasi.
And in business, senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School is worried government's overspending in the 2024 elections could erode economic gains. And are you ready for Ghana's biggest and most exciting New Year party? The Joy FM 90s Jam this Friday.
So it's going to be a night where people are really going to, reminisce on good songs and how they enjoy themselves.
That and more in tonight's edition of Newsnight. You want to join us with your thoughts and comments? It's via WhatsApp is 055-1111-997. I am Emefa Apawu. Welcome. We settle for details now and start off from the Oti region. And this evening, 4 more people have been shot in Nkwanta after one person was shot dead yesterday in renewed clashes in the area. The 4 are believed to be head porters who were attacked and shot in Odomichala while loading a truck. Well, this comes just hours after one other person was killed or shot and killed in the area yesterday in spite of a dawn to dusk curfew imposed by the Interior Minister late last year. At least 12 persons have been killed in a related disturbance believed to be land and chieftaincy-related issues. Well, the fresh hostilities come just days after the chairman of the Municipal Security Council, Bright Lengwa, announced plans to tighten security following what he says are the fresh twists in the conflict. Listen to the driver of the truck and one of the head porters narrate to Joy News what really happened.
Okay, Tamuna Munipado was saying,
Nam ya bebe ni pabe 25.
Nipado who are mobile men who are my tutu, who nipa chrono, who are more
promo ni kamu no more. Moya started to you. Le tiamo driver, tiaso na driver amuvi ya crofo nipa nai. Na tiona ka omo.
Ndi so pesa la omotibia te sen na hu omotibia.
So omotibia ye nipa meni je ya pompa ye no. Ye nimnia besi. because nipa menu atimu omopano na omayi omo ekọ enim no.
Now let's bring in my colleague at Adum News, Obrimpong Owusu, is on the ground for us on this particular issue. Obrimpong Owusu, thank you so much for joining us here on Joy News. So where exactly are you now, and what would you say is the situation as we speak?
Currently, I am at Nkwanta St. Joseph Hospital, where the 4 persons who sustained gun injuries are receiving treatment.
And can you tell us what their state is as we speak, according to the doctors?
Well, the 2 that were referred to the municipal hospital are currently back to Nkwanta St. Joseph Hospital, and I can confirm that they are responding to treatment. I did had a discussion with them, and their response shows that in fact they are responding to treatment. And
what led to this recent shooting, you would say?
Well, we cannot confirm, but we all know that for the past month, Nkwanta South has not known peace due to a conflict between 3 ethnic groups in Nkwanta. We know there have been stakeholders engagement to ensure that the police return to peace for people to also control their activities. So we are around. We know that even although there's curfew in the town, people go out to do their normal activities from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. But we cannot tell much what might have triggered the recent clash where these 4 persons were shot after they were returning from Odome with the cargo truck where they were loaded with dairy. In the morning, there was a report that one of the persons were shot at the farm. So the police were there to retrieve their body. So we do not know what might have triggered the recent clash that led to the shooting of the 4 persons now.
Okay, but we know that you've mentioned, rightly so, that there's a curfew imposed on the town some 2 months ago. And this curfew is still in place. It's not yielding the needed results. And we were hoping that this will end the clashes in the area.
Sure, this is the hope of every Ghanaian and residents in Nkwanta South here, that with the imposition of the curfew was definitely going to restore peace in the area. But even though the curfew is imposed, they continue to have this incident of shooting and killing in some nearby communities. So we are thinking that maybe because the security has not been enough to intensify the operations in these such communities, which is leading to this recent happening. But I can tell you that the security are really, really working. Because Nkwanta South is a cosmopolitan area whereby we have a lot over 120 communities surrounded the capital.
Okay.
So it is difficult for them to always maybe enhance their operations within this area. So, but we can acknowledge their operations, but I think they need to do more to ensure that these perpetrators who are hiding in the forest or bush, killing people who maybe in an attempt going to farm to pick their farm, their produce, or maybe to get some food stuff for their homes, they'll be attacked by unknown persons, unknown gunmen, which is really, really a worry to residents in the area.
Okay. Obrimpong Owusu, we are grateful for your time. That's Adum correspondent Obrimpong Owusu reporting live from the Nkwanta area on the recent shooting that we're hearing. He's also been reporting from the hospital and talking about the state of these 4 persons who were shot recently. But thankfully, we've been joined on the phone also by the Municipal Chief Executive for Nkwanta South, Bright Lengwa. We are grateful for your time here on Newsnight. So what kind of briefing have you received so far on this latest shooting that we're hearing about?
Yeah, so the latest, as reported already, is that this morning somebody was shot and then unfortunately he passed on his farm. Later on, 4 others were shot in a truck that they've gone to load some food foodstuffs. They are alive, but in critical, some of them in critical condition. So far today, that has been the issues on board.
You must be a worried man as a municipal chief executive for the area, because in spite of a curfew that was imposed to be able to curb these clashes, it appears it still lingers. What really is happening in your area?
Yeah, definitely. You have to be worried. Several other stakeholders are worried as well. Yes, so the last time we spoke, I made mention that the conflict has taken a new turn as a result of the presence of the security services in town, it's become difficult for people to attack or to strike. That's how come it has put the peripheries of the town. We've met again to devise new means and ways of handling the issue, which I cannot put forward anyway. So for me, for now, if the stakeholders involved, the various ethnic groups involved, come out to say yes, in fact, we are putting our arms down. I believe that is the most important thing we need now for us to have an end to this killings ongoing. Because security will do their best, but if the people themselves are not committed to say, oh yes, we've caused so much havoc and damage by ourselves, let us end it. I bet it will be very difficult for security services alone to work anything out.
But Mr. Lenwa, what we are learning, at least these 4 were told they are believed to be head porters and they were shot in Odomechala. Are you saying this is also part of an ethnic clash, or how would you describe it, or what kind of briefing do you have?
Well, it's very easy to link it to what is going on in town, though the connection may not be there very easily. But like I said, the new trend of events is that the shootings are happening out of town. That is what is happening at the moment. So it's an isolated case, fine, but it's very easy to connect it to what is happening. Otherwise, somebody will ask, what is the motive behind what is the motive behind this?
It doesn't look like it's a situation that MUSEC, DISEC, and all that we need to know, RegSec, are in control of. It's not a security situation you are in control of. Is it right to say that?
Well, I don't think it's very right to say that. After the imposition of curfew, like I said, the destruction of property and life in the main town has ceased. And as a result of all the patrols and the good work that the security services are doing, you understand? So that's what I said. Now it has moved out of town because of the presence of the security, and we have devised means and ways of trying to handle this. And
you can assure that even though it's gone out of town, it's a situation that you have under control. Are we calling for more security? Are we beefing it up? What exactly is the way forward then?
We've put additional measures in place, which I will not be able to come out directly to say this is what we have called for, this is what we have done, and all of that. So, but for me, the most important thing is that I'm still appealing to the stakeholders involved to ask their people to leave the bushes if they are there and to put their arms down, so we return to the negotiation table. And
in all this, so far, at least 12 persons have been killed. Am I correct?
Yeah, yes, a number thereabouts. I need to sit down, do some proper calculations to be able to authenticate it, but not less than that. Yeah.
Well, at the national level, though, I'm sure the Interior Ministry, amongst others, national security, are concerned about the situation. Are they helping in any way? And are you calling for more support, military intervention, amongst others? Really, I'm sure you can put out all the details.
They are helping. They have helped, and they have helped a lot, because it is from them that even the men on ground have come down. They deploy the men to come and assist and all of that. So they are helping, but like you said along the line, I think we need more support, and we are in talks with them. We need more support in several ways. So we are in talks with them.
Okay. Mr. Brightland, we're grateful for your time. That's the MCE for Nkwanta South, Brightland, there, giving us updates following the latest incident. 4 persons have been shot, some in critical condition, others also stable as we speak in the Nkwanta area. And it's just 24 hours after 1 person was also shot and killed as a result of these clashes, and he says that it could be linked to the ethnic clashes that we've been reporting about over the period. And you've been hearing my colleague also on the ground, Obrimpong, who's giving us updates. And as and when we get more, hopefully when the situation is under control, also we'll bring you more details. There's more also on myjoyonline.com. But here in Accra, scores of passengers were also earlier left stranded at Weja SCC in the Wejagbawe municipality of the Greater Accra region as taxi drivers there suspended work to demonstrate over what they call an unlawful demolition of their buildings by a group claiming to be national security operatives. You can listen to some of the drivers.
Also, national security. I am Wababu Yadayagu. Sir, as I said on a Chini Yanidia, Yes, any assassin so. Abana my cut away. I just say our bands so I did Juma. By municipal assembly. And I demand. Baba, what's about Baba would be a dagu. I'm an office, and you're my own, and I be say. It's your new place, and Juma. Young for passing us a name call. I just say here buying MCU, and here Pitina. So, Mumma, I'm boy because Pasibadu, I try and need a swatch. And
some people came here purporting to be national security operatives and demolished our building, claiming the land belongs to them. It is the government through the Power Municipal Assembly that gives us the land we are currently occupying. We are not going to work today. The MC and the government needs to intervene because we are serving the community. They came here on the first night when everyone is at church without giving us any priority.
And that was the situation at Wager Bawe. We're yet to get any definite response from those that have been accused or alleged to be involved in the demolition, as the taxi drivers narrate, and as and when we get any more on that. But let's turn our attention to politics now. And in less than 24 hours, the governing New Patriotic Party was subject to thorough grilling prospective aspirants who have picked forms to contest the parliamentary primaries in constituencies with certain MPs currently. Already, the party has elected its parliamentary candidate in orphan constituencies, and the upcoming election will be finalized to the party's reorganization process towards 2024. Well, the vetting of the aspirants will run concurrently across the country with a high-level NPP bigwigs tasked to supervise the process. We'll get to hear from the party shortly, but my colleague Samuel Mbura of our political desk joins us on the line with details of the breakdown of the list as we have it from the party. Mbura, we know the vetting will cover 137 constituencies. Let's talk about the details.
Exactly, Emefa. So, as you indicated earlier, that this exercise of electing parliamentary candidates in the constituencies occupied by the NPP is the last leg of the reorganization process toward the 2024 general election. So, it's actually a critical one for them. And then these seats are considered safe seats for the party, in which they are working seriously to retain. So there are 137 of them. We know 400 actually picked forms. And out of the 400 who picked forms, Ashanti region is leading with 137, followed by the Eastern region, 93 of them. These figures are obvious because of the number of constituencies in these regions. We know Ashanti region has about 41 constituencies that are taking part in the election, Eastern 24. So if you look at the forms that were also returned after the picking of the nominations, we have a total of 373 of them, and still Ashanti region is leading with 126, and then Eastern region, and the least region there is the Bono East region. So we have 23 of these sitting MPs going unopposed. Ashanti region, 5 of them, Northern region, 5. The third one is the Northeast region, and the remaining regions share the figures, with the list being 1. So that is a general overview of the list the breakdown that the party has given. This vetting exercise of the aspirants tomorrow will run concurrently across the country at designated centers that the party has communicated to the regional executives to supervise. In for instance, area where if you go to
unfortunately, I am having a terrible connection to you, Mbura, but thank you for that breakdown. Let me also bring in the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed. Thank you so much for joining us. He's directly responsible for the coordination of this vetting exercise as well. We are grateful for your time. And let's talk about whether all is set for the vetting to begin tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Emefa. I say good evening and Happy New Year to the entire multimedia team and the good people of Ghana and your listeners.
Thank you.
Yes, everything is set for tomorrow. Vetting is slated for 3rd of January to the 5th of January, and that is from tomorrow Wednesday to Friday this very week. All committee members have been duly dispatched by the party at the national headquarters. We have 20 vetting teams that are going into the various regions, with Ashanti region having 4 teams, Eastern region having 3 teams, Greater Accra having 2 teams, Central region having 2 teams, and the rest of the regions have 1-1, except OT region, where we don't have a sitting member of parliament. As been given by Imbura, the breakdown is as perfect as it is, and we hope to make sure that all these members are voted, and we kickstart our campaign towards the 2024 general elections.
Usually the concern is about the fairness and transparency of the process in order to avoid chaos. What do you say to that?
We in the MPP, a liberal conservative party, a party that believes in democracy, a party that believes in competition. We have demonstrated that from the presidential primaries. We have also demonstrated that from the orphan constituencies. We have given fair grounds to every member of the party who is interested to contest for these particular elections to pick up forms and submit their forms for them to be vetted. The party at the national level has also formed the Parliamentary Appeals Committee. Those who will be not satisfied with certain decisions would have to also appeal, send it to the Appeals Committee, which is headed by Honorable Osei Prempeh, and the secretary to that committee is Evans Nimaku, the Director of Elections, with Honorable Pariansa as a member, Madam Esther Ofori as a member, Aro Solomon as a member, Professor Emmanuel Flolo as a member, Dr. Clifford Brima also as a member, Honorable Eugenia Gifty Kusi also as a member, Dr. Adiman Budu, and Alhaji Amadou Kalim, popularly known as Alhaji Amadou Business.
Okay.
So these are members of the Appeals Committee who will be hearing all appeals or possible appeals that will come. We believe that at the end of the day, that we'll have a very smooth contest, and vetting will be done, and satisfaction will be there, and we'll come out more united than before.
Well, the issue about the known stalwarts or bigwigs in your party who are no longer contesting, if my math is correct, at the last count, it's about 18 of them, including the likes of Dan Kwekuboche, Joe Wise. We have the issues also about Swami MP or Sechi Mensabonsu, amongst others. Has the number increased or is still at 18?
The number is still at 18 because as at the time we close nominations, there has not been any of these bigwigs who are going. And we have always maintained as a party that we have produced big stalwarts in this country in terms of parliamentary democracy. If you look at the performances of the likes of D.H. Mensa, you look at the likes of Papa Usu Nkrumah and the rest of the people who have also contributed, Howard Yakubu and Co. You saw that we have been able to get the likes of the current president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and his exit, we got another good gentleman in the person of Atachia. So the MPP has always replaced this big wigs with people who have been nurtured to be able to lead the front of our parliamentary democracy on behalf of the New Patriotic Party. Their exit is a pain to us, but we feel that we'll be able to fill those particular gaps. And going forward, we would have to tap into their experiences going forward to make sure that we strengthen parliamentary democracy through the participation of the New Patriotic Party.
And finally, the status of the constituencies that have been put on hold.
For now, we have Formina constituency that is still on hold. We also have Sunyani East also on hold, and then we have Akati North also on hold. But Ketu North was on hold. Between the Ketu North and Akati North was on hold. One of them is being added to Amewu's constituency, and then we are running the elections in there. We are also adding up this place in the Upper East region, Boku Central. We are adding Boku Central back to the sitting members of parliament, and then we are running the elections in that particular area too.
And a decision is yet to be taken on Sunyani East, Formina, for instance.
Yes, Sunyani East has been given a directive by National Council for certain things to be done, and elections will be held in that particular constituency. So for now, it is put on hold because of a court action that a decision has been taken by the National Council for this to be reconciled before elections are done.
And Formina?
For Formina, it's a decision of National Council, and National Council will take a decision on that at the appropriate time.
Okay, we're grateful. That's the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed, there giving us details of the vetting that's supposed to start from tomorrow all the way to the 5th of January. But away from the NPP, flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has assured electorates of a redemption for the country voted back to power. He believes the country has been run into a ditch and in need of an experienced hand to salvage the situation. Mr. Mahama is touting the NDC's ability to ensure economic recovery. Already, he has accepted the Saviour tag, which is fast gaining popularity among party supporters. Nanaya Ojima has more in the following report.
The story of the biblical Saviour is likened to that of John Mahama's second shot at the presidency. And this is how supporters of the NDC tell the story. Between 2012 and 2016, John Mahama was granted a 4-year mandate to lead the country. Here are the accounts the former president gives on his service to the nation.
And then inflation in almost 40%.
As we speak, inflation is around 40%. In 2016, when we left office, inflation was around 12%.
However, John Mahama was voted out of office for non-performance. The call for a second term is gaining ground as the former president tours the country to seek concerns of the public for a 2024 party manifesto. Here are some firm believers of the John Mahama candidature.
Apart from Mahama, you need savior baby.
John Mahama is our savior after Jesus Christ. If he doesn't come to help, then we are dead.
Mahama na savior to say 2012 Mahama by.
He came to office in 2012 and exited in 2016. Things have deteriorated after his exit. We need him back into office to help.
The savior tag is being accepted by the former president as he attempts a comeback into office. The NDC flag bearer has continuously described the NPP government's performance as abysmal. He believes the country has run into a ditch and in need of an experienced hand to salvage the situation.
And obiesu enuma yedin. Your boss no VIP ayede echo akwantu no akoto ditchum.
Today, we are all crying. Things are tough. The bus in which we are traveling has fallen into a ditch, and we have to join hands to bring it back on the road. If you take a look at the political parties in the country, the most development-oriented party is the NDC.
I just say, Emrebia, Samanyo Kono Betransi, Timi who say Empuntoba, Emma Gana Konenim, Sa Amanyo Kono NDC.
To him, a second coming of his government is a redemption for the country.
Nyameka chere se obesuma ajenkwa no abeji yankwa. Me Kristo di minim se sa ajenkwa no Yesu Kristo. And so minim se nyame hu Ghana mobo.
God promised a savior. I am a Christian and I know Jesus Christ is the one. But I know God has shown us mercy. So before the second coming of Christ, there will be a predecessor to save Ghanaians from bondage. That person is an experienced individual with knowledge to help. I know that savior is John Dramani Mahama and the NDC party.
Hey, nipa what's him no? If you say baby I am my no. Experience any Enti minim se saaje kwano nyame adumunti John Dramani Mahama any NDC amanyoko.
Christians are certain of a return of their savior, but the NDC's savior can only return if the electorate vote him in 2024. For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima reporting.
And this is Newsnight here on Joy 99.7 FM. Time for business. Emma Davis, no savior, joins us in the studio with business. Emma, what do we have?
And in business, senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School is worried government's overspending in the 2024 elections could erode economic gains. Business on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business, Kingdom Books and Stationery, Syntex Sanks, and Pepsodent Herbal and Charcoal. Now let's settle for the details. My name is Emma Davis. Senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Dr. Benjamin Apawu, has stated that government's tendency to overspend in 2024 could derail gains made over the last few months. Responding to a report by Fitch Solutions stating that the government will overspend ahead of the 2024 elections, Dr. Apawu said the budget overruns in an election year is always daunting. Hence, government must prioritize indigenous products and services, which will in turn boost the economy.
We see the surge in government attempt to spend and also to be seen to be working for the people to win votes. This is not the first time we are going to witness. And that is what normally erodes the gains that we are able to record before elections. All we need to do is to work and hope that this time around, even if the spending will take place, the spending should be domesticated to the extent that we will not demand forex through that spending. Rather spend on indigenous companies or indigenous products so that we will find a way of keeping the spending within the economy than to spend on items that may be imported that in the end will not benefit us directly. We shouldn't forget that many of the items we use to support our elections are even imported.
Dr. Benjamin Apawu is a senior finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School. The country's power sector is facing threats of a shutdown due to the financial flow problems. That's according to the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Ben Boakye. Speaking on the Super Morning Show today, Mr. Boakye said there is a long-standing debt owed to the independent power producers by the Electricity Company of Ghana and other stakeholders. He therefore fears the situation could be dire if government fails to intervene.
We've also seen some actions from the IPPs. Asogli in December was wild, trying to get their money back. They managed to get $60 million from government. We don't know how they're going to push back on these delays in payment. And I keep saying that Asogli was one of the considerate IPPs in the space. Suddenly, they are chasing their money. And I suspect that in 2024, given that it's an election year, all the IPPs are going to be looking for their money because you don't want to push your debt to 2025. When there's a new government, a new negotiation, and the rest of it. So those are the threats we face.
Dr. Benjamin Boakye speaking earlier on the Super Morning Show today. The Ghana Stock Exchange placed 10th in dollar terms among 15 stock markets in Africa in 2023. It recorded a return of negative 5.66% for investors. Here's more in this report.
But for the about 15% depreciation of the cedi to the dollar, the Accra Bears would have been classified among the top performing stock markets in Africa in 2023. In local currency terms, the GSCR placed 5th with a 28.08% return for investors. The performance of the market is coming on the back of the International Monetary Fund program, which brought some renewed investor confidence. According to data, the non-banking stocks led the gains in the equity market. The financial stock index, however, registered a return of negative 7.36%. This was a result of the second part of the domestic debt exchange program, which had impacted the earnings of some banks. The best performing stocks were BOP, Total Energies, Unilever, Guinness Ghana Breweries Limited, and MTN Ghana. The worst performing stocks were, however, Access Bank, Ecobank Ghana, SIC, Enterprise Group, and Cowbank. Meanwhile, Egypt EGX was the best performing stock on the African continent in 2023.
That was a Business Desk report, and that's all for Business on Newsnight.
Thank you very much, Emma. Enjoy the rest of the day. It looks like the festive period has ended, has it?
So quickly.
Officially, it's ended, and business is expected to return to normalcy once again. But not many are in the mood to return to work. As a result, business has been slow on day one of a working day in 2024. Our microphones were around town to capture events.
Although it is the second day of the year, it is actually the first working day of 2024. People are gradually returning to their workplaces after spending the Christmas holidays with family, traveling, and having fun. So we're in town to gauge the mood, to ask workers how they are coping on their return to work on the first day of 2024.
It has not been active as it used to be. because I facilitate adult learners, and most of them are yet to return from their break. So far it has been good. I hope it will be more active than it was last year.
Majority of the workers are still at home. At first, all the normal days, by this time we have more than 50 to 60. But as I'm talking to you right now, we are just sitting there idle. None of the customers are even coming. I'm sure no money in the system again. Majority of them have finished chopping their money. So maybe they are now coming to work to even get some few money to enjoy.
Usually with the kind of job I do, around this time is very free. It gets more intense from the beginning of the second quarter. So yeah, basically it's been a good year for me.
That's my colleague Kenneth JC there interacting with some persons in the street of Accra on the return to business after the festive period. But of course, it's not all over yet. I'll tell you more shortly because we are getting ready for the Joy 90s Jam this Friday. But before then, let me take you to Kumasi, where we're just 10 days to the start of the Africa Cup of Nations in La Côte d'Ivoire. GFA President Kurt Okreku is rallying support for the Black Stars. Bring back the love, bigger and better, as it begin camping in Kumasi today. Well, the players have started arriving in the country and they will join their mates in Kumasi where they will be camping ahead of the tournament. Some Ghanaians though are unsure if the team will do well after 42 years of failure.
We have equally good players. Kudus, Jordan and the other players, they are all equally good. And they are young, it's youth team too. So I hope they can do better.
We have a good quality team, but the team is not ready to come together to win the cup now. I think maybe in the next 2 or 5 years before, but for now I don't think we can.
We can reach semi-final or quarter-final. Yeah, because this squad, this Blaster squad is not squad for trophy. The squad we called now is. They are the best for the coach.
We have the heart, but for now, how these people are doing, Ghana is like how they start this Asantua, this thing. People will not follow Ghanaians especially. They only back you when they see you going, and you see this gone match will lose, and because of that, we don't have the vim to back up Ghana, the heart to back up Ghana. And Ghana is always in victory when we are backing Ghana with our heart. And for this time, we don't have the heart to back up Ghana. But I know that surely we have victory.
I don't see any future in this Blasters team because the coach, he's the head coach, but he doesn't have the mandate to do what he likes. They have been calling players for him on his behalf. Recently, look at some mistakes that's did. We will go, but we will come out from the group stage. I'm not sure Ghana will be able to reach quarter-final because this team and the way they are playing, I've lost interest in Blasters for a very long time because it's very boring to go and sit down to watch Blasters match. Like I used to watch Chelsea women's football. Just like those days, they will go, they will hype, we will support, nothing will come out. So for me, I've stopped supporting Blasters because it's just waste of time and stress.
Well, we disagree largely with the comments that you had there, but the GFA president, Ketu Kweku, wants all Ghanaians to put the past behind and support the team to victory.
My plea to all of us is that once the squad is announced, the entire nation must get behind the squad. My plea, even if I have to kneel down and beg the entire country, I will do so, is that we have one senior national men, and this senior national team men is called the Black Stars. And once the men for the job are announced, they are our warriors. Let's get behind the squad. Let us leave behind us all the pre-announcement discussions, and as Ghanaians, let's push and put our weight behind the men who have been picked to go to Côte d'Ivoire to fight for glory for our dear country.
My colleague Stephen Zando joins us on the line. He's been monitoring the camping in Kumasi and joins us with all the details. Stephen, what's happening in Kumasi in terms of the camping?
All
So Emefa, the Black Stars of Ghana arrived in Kumasi yesterday in the evening. I think the team was led by captain of the team, Andrew Dedeayu, notable players who arrived yesterday in Kumasi, Majida Shimeru, Alidu Seidu, Abdul Salis Ahmed. But as we speak, we don't have Kudus Mohammed, Jordan Ayew, and Inaki Williams in camp. My information is that these players will be joining the camp of the Black Stars later this week. Currently, the team is based in Golden Bay Hotel here in Kumasi, and if I must tell you that security is tight because when the Ghana Football Association made the announcement that the Black Stars of Ghana were switching camp from South Africa to Kumasi, they made it clear that security is going to be tight and all the training sessions are going to be held behind closed doors. And so far, from every indication, security is very tight. If you go to the camp base of the Black Stars, you will not really have access to the players. And so, tomorrow, the Stars are expected to train at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. In fact, they were supposed to train today at the famous Kumasi Sports Stadium, but that training session was called off. But, series of training sessions are expected to be held at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium from tomorrow before our friendly match against Namibia on Monday.
But supporters in Kumasi, we know, are very different and they support the Black Stars all the time. How has it been like so far since the boys went to camp there?
I think that the reception at the airport was great. If you have seen the videos the Ghana Football Association has posted, it was clear from the faces of the Black Stars. Smiles written all over their faces. And the warm reception was something significant. And everybody who was at the airport to realize that indeed Kumasi fans love football. They love the fact that the Black Stars of Ghana are pitching camp in Kumasi ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations to be staged in Ivory Coast. Unfortunately, the fans will not have access to the training sessions of the Black Stars. I think that the game against Namibia, which is the friendly match the Stars will be playing before the tournament, will be open to the public. So, these fans who want to see what Chris Whitten has got in store for the Black Stars of Ghana this time around in Ivory Coast will have the opportunity of seeing the Stars play at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. And like I said, that friendly match will be open to the public, but Chris Whitten made it clear at that press conference that they are not going to allow any journalist to stream the friendly match on social media. Basically because, they want everything to be behind closed doors. But this particular friendly match, they want the supporters to have a feel of the Black Stars that we are sending to Ivory Coast to start the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations.
Stephen, thank you so much for joining us, and Stephen bringing us all that we need to know about the camping of the Black Stars in Kumasi as they get ready for AFCON in La Côte d'Ivoire. And we're all getting ready and bringing back the love big time for the Black Stars. And staying in Kumasi a while longer, the New Year edition of the Love in Shira FM Family Party in the Park saw a massive lineup of activities to carry partygoers through the new year. Families from various walks of life gathered to partake in the grand party in the park while creating lasting memories on the special occasion. Nana Boachi Dankwa Yadom, a party lover himself, has more.
Well, into the future with Love FM and Insure FM. You definitely did miss a lot if you did not make it to the 2024 edition of the Love FM and Insure FM Family Party in the Park. It has been a day full of activities for children and for families that gathered here today at the Kumasi Ratri Park. But then we cannot just talk about the fun without engaging patrons who made it to the 2024 edition of the Love FM Insure FM Family Party in the Park.
Oh, it's been great. We've really enjoyed ourselves. We are cool. Everything is on point.
Is this your first time being here?
Oh no, we've been coming every year.
Every year?
Every year.
And how would you rate this year?
Today is superb. Wow. Actually, the crowd, everything is on point. I'm even shocked because the crowd is too much, more than last year.
We're having fun, lots of fun. We are good to be here.
When did you come here?
In the morning, around 7.
You came alone?
No, with my families.
With your family?
Yeah.
And then you've been here since morning?
Yes, please.
And you're not leaving any moment from now?
No.
And that's how it went down. Is the Love FM Insura FM party in the park, and the biggest party that we've all been waiting for years now is finally back. Is the Joy FM 90s Jam. And that's how it's going to go down on Friday at City Galleria. That's close to the Accra Mall. The Joy FM 90s Jam will set the stage for revelers to reminisce over the hits that dominated the music scene, from funk, hip hop, hip life, pop, burger high life, amongst others. But if these tunes are no longer on your track list, this is what to expect on January 5.
Deba, boy, be so Jimmy. If I be
DJs built for the night. DJ Black says the show will not stop short of what Accra nightlife used to be in the 90s.
Everything is behind or beside the Accra Mall. Things that will bring nostalgia to those who enjoyed the nightlife in Accra then. The Glens nightclub, the Foxtrot, the Matador era, and the DJ life, where you also saw the birth of a lot of DJ competitions, the likes of Azigizar, Kofi Dixon, Fifi Craft, So it's going to be a night where people are really going to, reminisce on good songs and how they enjoy themselves where they were young.
And that's how we wrap up tonight's edition of News Night here on Joy 99.7 FM. Tickets going for 150 Ghana cedis only and 200 Ghana cedis for VIP, happening at City Galleria on Friday. Really, I can't wait. I want to push the days ahead for Friday to just come. 6 p.m. is the Joy FM 90s Jam. Do join us at City Galleria on Friday. For more, I am Emefa Apawu. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Once again, have a good evening.